Okay, hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Physical Mabuza, and so today's video we are going to be talking about how to retain length. So I know a couple of people like myself, we do have set certain goals for this year regarding our hair. For myself, it's not necessarily like something that I set this year only. It was something that I set the previous year, and I'm continuing with it, which is length retention. So today I'm just going to be talking about a few things that I personally do in order to retain length, and these couple of tips are things that I've already shared on my Instagram. If you are not following me on Instagram, please do, because I post more often on Instagram than I do on YouTube. Have a clean scalp. This way your hair will grow. This way you will be allowing your hair to grow properly. Your pores are not going to be clogged, so it's very important to have a clean, clarified scalp. Okay, don't co-wash all the time. Co-washing does not clean your scalp. Co-washing does not clean your scalp. So you need to clarify your scalp, all right, so that your pores can be clean, allowing your hair follicles to grow properly. Okay, second tip is that, which corresponds to what I had just mentioned, clean your hair. Clarifying your scalp allows you to have clean hair as well, to avoid product buildup. Because if you're gonna have product buildup, your hair is going to break when you try to detangle. You are going to lose hair. As much as you may try to work as delicate as you wish, but when you have dirty hair and your hair then creates a product buildup, you will at some point lose tiny bits of hair. As gentle and as delicate and as as you try to detangle your hair, you will lose tiny bits of hair, and we don't want that. We do not want that. Why? Because we are retaining length, right? Okay, second tip is, do not detangle on dry hair. Okay, don't detangle on dry hair. Why? Because your hair will just break. It will easily break. You need some sort of I don't necessarily want to specify as to what you may need to detangle your hair, but for an example or for an idea, you need to use something that will allow your hands to sleep easily, that will sometimes melt sort of your knots if you have knots and stuff like that. But you need to use a product or something that will help you with detangling your hair. Water is in my opinion, water is not enough. So I can say go for something that will allow your hair to, your hands or fingers or whatever that you're using, to slip gentle, or gently. So yeah. Tip number 4, yes. Tip number 4, use the appropriate products to detangle your hair. And by appropriate products, I don't necessarily want to force you or force anyone to detangle with their fingers. Preferably, I prefer to detangle with my fingers. I don't want to lie. I prefer to detangle with my fingers. I do have a denim brush, but I hardly use it. I only use it once in a while. But I first detangle with my fingers and then follow with my the denim brush. That is if I used it, which is hardly. Am I going to say hardly? Because I would say hardly. Although there's someone Tabila said it's not the brush's fault, it's you or something that causes the break-ins, something along those lines. So, but preferably I don't detangle with tools in most cases. But should you wish to detangle with tools, I would say the denim brush can work, or a wide tooth comb. But if you are looking for something that, or looking for other tools, there is a video Just Magnificent has, which is Tabile. She has on her Instagram that further explains and shows you the examples and whatnot on tools when it comes to detangle. Do check her video out. I'll try and find the link and put it in the description box down below. Do read things on my description box. I put really good things on my description box. All right. Tip number 5, look after your ends, okay? Look after your ends. And by me saying look after your ends does not necessarily mean you have to neglect every other part of your hair. No, but you do have to look after your ends. Why? You'll then understand on the next tip, which is trim your ends when it is necessary. You know, when I started what's this thing, when I started really focusing and learning more on how to take care of my hair, everyone used to give the advice, maybe not me myself, I am guilty at some point of giving this advice of trim your hair every 3 months or trim your hair every 4 months, but now, because I think maybe it's because I've learned to take care of my ends, and I do find myself after 3 months I don't necessarily need to trim my ends. So it is important to trim your hair ends when it is necessary, when you feel or see that you have split ends or you are kind of experiencing a lot of knots and stuff like that. So trim your ends when it's necessary. Hence, if you take good care of your ends, the trimming day may be like, you know, let's go in this thing. You will you will prolong the day. You would see utrime my ends akho. You get me? Again, the next tip, which I forgot the number, is low manipulation. Try to manipulate your hair as little as possible, okay? This is the most, in my personal opinion, the most unfortunate part when it comes to length retention, because this will prevent you from doing certain things on your hair, you styling your hair. And like I said, personally, this is just a bit unfortunate. Why? Because I like styling my hair, and unfortunately when you are trying to retain length, you have to sometimes make sacrifices, and unfortunately or fortunately, this is the sacrifice that I have to make, and most probably that you also have to make if you are looking on retaining length. You really need to manipulate your hair less. I do have a throwaway session on my Instagram. If you want to know more about it, do follow me on Instagram. But yeah, and it requires me to style my hair. Unfortunately, yes, I will not, I don't know, I'll try to work with it. I'll try my best, because I love that. I love my session, and I don't want to necessarily like nilahle and stuff like that. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So less manipulation goes hand in hand with less or avoiding the hand in your hair syndrome, like ukudonsa tinwele takho or playing with your hair, and as well as protective hairstyles. Yes, preferably, if you really want to retain length, preferably I would advise that you try to do protective hairstyles. By protective hairstyles, carrot, straight back, in, because we know that child's hairline. But you can look at low manipulation protective hairstyles, okay? Hairstyles, we would see when you take them down, you don't lose hair. I go to clean, but now can't, you lose hair. And also, when you have a protective hairstyle, that does not mean neglect your hair. That does not mean don't wash your hair. You can have a protective hairstyle, or you can do a protective hairstyle and still take care of your hair. Because if you don't, will cancer and your hair will break. Why? Because it lacks moisture, it lacks so many things. So it's important to also take care of your hair, even though you have it like protective hairstyle or whatever that you have. If you are interested, my protective hairstyle is braids. Not braids, it's cornrows. Like even now I have cornrows, or just braids. Like I'm a one with my own hair, not with earpiece and stuff like that. I'm a one that will allow me to wear a wig or a hat or whatnot. I don't necessarily like doing twist. Why? Because personally, my experience, every time when I do twist, I don't know, maybe my hair locks easily, but every time when I do twists, the detangling process is very tedious for my liking. So no. But yeah, anyway, I think this is, oh, and lastly, please do not use heat. Heat makes your hair break, especially if you did not use a heat protectant. You may experience heat damage, especially if you use heat most often and stuff like that. But yeah, I think everything is, I've mentioned everything. So yeah, please do subscribe and hit that notification bell down below so that you get notified every time I post a video. I love you all. Stay blessed. Mwah.